Okay, so today we're starting a new series and we're calling it A Long Way Home. Okay, based on the story of the prodigal son. There's a lot of stuff that we can learn that. So as we get started today, I wonder, are there any control freaks in the house? Oh, come on. And it's funny, some of you guys, you don't want people to know, you're just like. If you don't know, the people around you, they do. In fact, some of you guys, you're sitting there and the people around you are going, you know. So now for the control freaks, have you ever been the passenger in someone's car and they take the long way? You know what I'm talking about? Just makes you crazy. And then you try to offer assistance. And they get all butthurt about it, right? Changes the whole atmosphere of the car. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Okay? And so you understand what I'm talking about being a control freak. But see, sometimes it is a long way home. When it's a long way home, oftentimes it's because there's a lot of things that we still haven't learned. So when we're talking about this story with the prodigal, we're talking about the long way home, there's a lot of things that we can learn from the story. So that's why we want to share some stuff that we can learn from that story starting today. But so those valuable lessons that we get from that. Okay, now, I don't have any weird news today, but I have some good news. A worship pastor in Northern California has decided to run for Congress. No, he still loves Jesus. He didn't backslide. Okay? And they said, well, why do you want to run for Congress? He said, because our morals are low and our taxes are high. Somebody needs to speak up. So that's good news, right? Okay. On another note, in Texas, I'm sure that you've already heard that a former Dallas police officer was convicted for a murder because she walked into an apartment that she thought was her own and encountered a guy. She shot him, killed him. So she went on trial and she was convicted. And that's a pretty sad story. So there's a lot of voices that are championing that finally they get justice. There's another voice in the courtroom, which is the victim's brother, his younger brother, in court, told this lady that killed his brother, I forgive you. That's huge. But then what he did next is what shocked everybody. He asked the judge, would it be okay if I gave her a hug? And he went down in front of the judge in the courtroom and he gave this lady who killed his brother a hug. Okay? See, while everybody else was focusing on the justice, his heart was breaking with the tragedy. So this amazingly unselfish act of ridiculous grace of giving this lady that killed his brother a hug, just huge. Now, the reason I bring that up, to be painfully honest, I don't think I could have done that. How about you guys? Now, I could probably say I forgive you because you don't actually have to mean it. Right? Come on, you guys know, you know. How many of us have said, I forgive you, and you didn't mean it? Yeah. Everybody raise your hand. Everybody raise your hand. Because you got to work into that, right? Okay, but man, the hug thing, man, I don't know if I could pull that off. That'd be tough. See, because I'm afraid I'm probably more selfish than that. I mean, really, okay? See, I'm probably more like the younger brother in Luke chapter 15, the prodigal son, than I am the younger brother in Dallas. Okay? Because now, don't we all, if we're honest, don't we all struggle with selfishness from time to time? Don't we all struggle with that? I might have to do echo for this to work, okay? All right? We all struggle with selfishness from time to time because and matter of fact, the honest truth is, isn't it like really hard to not be selfish? It's really hard, okay? Like when you're passing out cake, I want the big piece. You mean you don't want the small one? No, I'm selfish. I do that, okay? And so anyway, from time to time, we just wrestle with that over-concern for self. So here we are, it's in Luke chapter 15. The story starts out this way. Luke chapter 15, verse 11. That says, then Jesus said, a man had two sons. The younger son said to his father, give me my share of the property. And so the father divided up the property between his two sons. Okay? Then the younger son gathered up all that was his and traveled away to another country, and there wasted his money in foolish living. I like this version the way it says it because if we use the other versions, we can kind of dismiss ourselves. But haven't we all, every once in a while, lived foolishly? Come on, come on. I will tell stories. I will. Tell people that I've been pastor here for 29 years. I know like lots of stuff. Nobody wants me to start talking. Once I start rapping, I mean, you think Hillary Clinton bumped people off? You ain't seen nothing yet, okay? But I know that was not okay. But see, now, I'm just that way. But anyway, so now the younger brother, he wasn't asking for anything unreasonable because in Jewish custom, the younger brother would get 1/3, the older brother would get 2/3. That was customary. But see, the deal was, he just said, I want what was promised to me, but I want it now. Everybody say now. Okay, now, so it wasn't really that see, now here's the deal. Sometimes we get the right story, but we learn the wrong lesson. Anybody ever learn the wrong lesson? Okay. He had the right story. Yes, that's your banana. But he learned the wrong lesson. Okay. Now, I asked a younger guy here a while back because he'd just been released from an extended stay facility. You'll figure it out in a second. And so I often ask this question. I said, did you learn anything? His disappointing answer was, yeah, don't get caught. Right story, wrong lesson. Okay? So seriously, so the lesson for this right now, the lesson for this younger brother, it's not a lesson in, hey, you're arrogant. Hey, not a lesson in it's your dad's stuff, or it wasn't even a lesson in stay home. It was a lesson in timing. Everybody say timing. Okay? How many of us have learned lessons about timing? Okay? See, this banana is a little bit green. It will be good, but it's kind of hard right now. Okay, you like that? There's something wrong. Okay? Now see, here's the deal. So we all have things that we really pushed on and then found out we couldn't pull it off because it wasn't good timing, okay? And so the human condition is a lifetime of impatience. We are not patient people. You can tell somebody that you are, but you're not. If you were a patient person, you wouldn't be giving somebody in front of you the honk of encouragement when the light turns green. Yeah, you'll use that, the honk of encouragement, right? Okay, and then they give you the Hawaiian good luck symbol as you drive by. But you understand. And it's because oftentimes we get the story right, but we get the lesson wrong. We don't get the lesson right. There's some that come out of a bad relationship and jump right back into another relationship without giving themselves time to heal, or they get out of debt and they feel so free that they get back into debt. Or do the minimum for recovery just to get through it and end up going right back to it. Okay? Or they jump on an appealing opportunity only to find out that the personal cost is way higher than what they ever thought it would be. Okay? Because we have the right story, but we're learning the wrong lesson. So in every area of our life, every area, there will always be a process. Without the process, there won't be much progress. Okay? And you need to hear this, right? And so it often takes longer than we think, costs more than we think, and it's way harder than we ever imagined it would be. The process, okay? Now, I've noticed in our demanding, I want it now my way kind of, you have to do what I want culture, okay? That we become impatient or even dismissive of the process. Think we don't have to go through the process. So I don't like where I am. I don't like who I am. I don't like what I am. So I'm going to demand that it's different. Okay? Now, there's a few problems in this. And so if we simply demand, I demand that I'm someplace else. I demand that I be somebody else. I demand that I'm something else. That might sound good or might make a good TV interview. But there's some things. See, there's certain constants that won't change. You can't do anything to change your DNA. As much as you demand that you're going to be this, your demands won't change the DNA. That you just won't. It just simply won't. I'm not going to get into all that, but you guys know. So your age is a constant. Well, forward anyway, right? You can't demand that you be a different age than you are. You can lie. I know you wouldn't do that. Matter of fact, you know what's funny? Some of you guys on Facebook, that's a straight up lie. I mean, really. Okay? Yeah. You can't demand that you be of a different ethnic heritage. As much as everybody wants me to be Hispanic, I'm just a poor white boy. And I can tell you all, I would love to be 42. But my body and my face are just a dead giveaway. Somebody said, why not 22? I don't want to be that stupid again. Okay? I can demand that. Certainly, but for everything else that is not a constant, there's a process involved. Everything. And we sidestep the process, then we actually don't make any progress, right? Okay, so with that in mind, this young guy declared, he demanded, I don't need to go through the process. I don't care how green the banana is. I'm ready now. He's thinking, you know what? I don't have to climb the ladder. I'm already on top of the ladder. I shouldn't have to go through this. Just start me there. Just start me right there. I deserve to be up there. Give me that now. I shouldn't even have to go through this. So he made that declaration to be on top. But the problem is he didn't know what he had been handed. It didn't stay in his hand very long. See, when you haven't gone through the process, it doesn't matter what you possess. You won't be able to hang on to it very long because you really don't know, right? See, without that, we can't leverage the experience. We can't leverage the knowledge that we would have had through the process. Now, when I was 18, I went to work at a mining outfit, and I was a mill helper. Everybody say helper. It was the bottom of the rung, mill helper, the new guy, okay? Now, I worked really, really hard. I caught on fast, and so things were going pretty good, and people would even tell me how well I was doing. Boy, you're a go-getter. Now, the problem is I started to believe that. Okay? They're patting me on the back and telling me that I was the best. I started to believe that. So because I started to believe that, I started bragging about myself. You know, I'm 18, cut me some slack. Okay? And I started bragging about myself. Well, the supervisor caught wind of my bragging and heard the other guys talking. He goes, it's great. So he had me cover for the vacationing mill operator. Everybody say operator. Now I'm the helper. Here's the operator. So I'm like, I'm 18. Hey, I don't have to climb the ladder. Son of a gun, I'm already on top. So one late night shift, an alarm went off, not the clock. The alarm just said one of the pieces of equipment failed. Okay? I tried everything a mill helper would know. The problem was, the solution was only what a mill operator would know. It wasn't a miserable fail, it was an abject fail. Cost the company huge amounts of money. I was called into the superintendent's office. Oh, this is it. Nice knowing you, Dave. You're gone. 18 years old, bragged about yourself, given your shot, shanked it. Now what do you do? But I'll never forget what he said. He goes, if you will admit what you don't know, we can teach you what you need to know, and you'll do pretty good. That's great advice, isn't it? Okay? See, self-promotion almost always ends in self-destruction. I'm going to repeat that because some of you guys need to hear this twice. Self-promotion almost always ends in self-destruction. Okay? Or in other words, you are your own worst enemy. That's not new news. And that makes it a long ways to fall. Okay. Now, when Jesus was tempted in Luke chapter 4 to bow down and worship Satan so we could rule the world, he is the King of Kings. That's the right story. But see, by sidestepping the process of the cross, he abandons the reason for him being here. That's me. It becomes personal, right? Now I've been guilty of wanting to sidestep the process. just so I can get promotion. You guys know what I'm talking about, okay? So it's the right story, but it's the wrong lesson, okay? So now, I think for this father of this younger brother, I think what broke his heart wasn't that he took his early. It wasn't even that he moved out. Because parents want your kids to move out, right? I mean, when you get to be old enough to know stuff, I would love for you to know how to pay your rent. That'd be great. Okay? But I think what broke his heart is, had he have waited for the right time, had he have waited for his opportunity to ripen, he could have been and had so much more. See, that's why this is a lesson in timing, okay? See, sometimes we miss the best parts of us because we try too hard to sidestep the process. The joy is in the climb, and that's the becoming, right? Okay, so with that in mind, impatience does not consider that everything in your life is a season. It's not constant. Everything in your life is a season. If things are going good right now, there'll be a season come when things are not going good right now. If you have a season of joy, you will experience a season of heartache. If you're going through grieving right now, joy is coming into your house. You see, everything is a season. See, impatience doesn't consider that. So what happens is, don't get so distracted by the season that you forget the reason. Don't get so distracted by that. See, God is doing a great work in you. Did you know that? Did you know that God is doing a great work in you? See, now what happens, we're surrounded by the demands and the drama of life. Isn't that true? How many of you guys know that there's a lot of drama? There's a lot of drama. In fact, some people are so good at it, they really should get paid. I've heard some stories and I'm thinking, Jerry Springer got nothing on you, dude. This is awesome. There's just a lot of drama. See, here's the deal. So it's easy to forget that it's just a season. And you lose sight of the reason. Okay? So can I give you some good advice? You ready for this? You'll find a story in Nehemiah chapter 6 where Nehemiah is challenged and they say, you know what, Nehemiah, you need to come down and engage us in this argument. Come on, get engaged in this fight. So here's what happens to you and I. God is doing a great work. We're climbing the hill. We're doing great. And drama shows up. Drama challenges you to leave the progress, come down to their level, and engage in battles you should never be fighting. When you engage in battles that you should never be fighting, you spend energy that you don't have and waste time that you really need. Are you still with me? Are you still with me? Okay? All right? So don't go down to their level. See, when all this drama starts up, why do you feel like it's necessary to get sucked in? In fact, some of you guys, you need to just give up Facebook, period. You get sucked in like all the time. Is your friend, is your pastor. Stop it. It's crazy. But see, what happens is whenever we're doing a great work and things are going good, when we engage in battles that we have no business engaging in, we have to go down to their level and we lose all the progress and we get stuck in an extended season. Are you still with me? Okay, so stay on the wall. I know sometimes we get mad, sometimes we get hurt, sometimes we just want to lash out. Don't do it. Don't engage in battles that you have no business fighting. I've had people want to start arguments. I'm so tempted to engage because I am confident that I know way more about this than they do. You guys know, you know. Just do this. Okay? But the energy I spend and the time I waste, I cannot afford. Okay, you with me? Okay? So what are you saying? Wait for your season. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9 says it so perfectly. It says, don't get tired of doing good. Tell somebody, you're doing good. Don't get tired of doing good. Because in due season, say due season, you will reap a harvest if you don't lose heart. Let me put it another way. Don't get tired of doing good. Because in due season, you're going to reap a harvest if you don't go down to that level and spend all the energy that your heart has to fight battles you have no business fighting. Is this making sense, guys? Okay. So don't get tired of doing good. How do you don't get tired of doing good? You focus on the next step. You focus on the progress. Keep your eyes on the prize, my friend. That's what I'm talking about. Don't worry about see, what I found out about people that cause drama, they can do it all by themselves. They actually don't need my help. Totally unnecessary. I mean, think about this. You're like, oh, let me help you be a fool. They got that. Lock it down. There it is, right? So that's just so here's the deal. So my season is coming due. My season is coming. Is your season coming due? My season is coming due. So you know what that means? I'm not going to get tired of doing good, because in due season, my season is coming due. In due season, I am going to reap a harvest, because you know what? I refuse to let it get inside of my heart and distract me from what I'm supposed to do. Okay? Now here's the deal. So watch this. See, the devil thought that he had Jesus locked down. But what the devil didn't know when he locked him away in the tomb, that Jesus had a season that was coming due. So 3 days later, you know what he did? He overcame that, and he starts, see, what I'm saying, your season is coming due. Don't get locked into battles that you have no business fighting. Hallelujah. Let me finish with this story from Genesis chapter 22. The man's name is Abraham. He has been waiting decades for his promise. Decades. A painfully long season. So finally, at the age of 100, he has a baby boy. Don't that mess with your head? Now, there is no finally like that finally. He's 100 years old changing a diaper. You want to play football? Let's run. I know, that's not right. But finally, after a long season, the promise shows up. And that's what makes God's request sound so unreasonable. That's what makes it sound like, God, you got to be kidding me. You got the wrong guy. This is definitely not going to happen. I can't see. God is asking him to take this son, this promise that he had waited decades for, and sacrifice that promise on a mountain. How terrifying is that? You ever felt like God has ever asked you to do something unreasonable? You ever felt like God has asked you to do something that's just too hard for you? But on the other side, has God ever come through for you when you didn't think that he would? Okay? You see, that's what we're talking about faith, guys. So watch this. So because of his confidence, now watch how this works. Because he had waited so long. And after so long, God still showed up anyway. His confidence in the promise was huge. See, my friend, here's what I'm saying. If you've been waiting a long time, that is a faith builder. That's not a faith killer. Don't be fighting that battle. That's the wrong thing. So because even through Abraham's imperfection, God's promises remain perfect. Even through your imperfection. See, you do not have it all together. See, you guys know that. You guys understand that you've been going up and down this ladder and fighting with everybody on the bottom about 1,000,000 times. You get sucked into like everything. Cafe latte. Oh, hell, heck no. Let's talk about it. Why? See, through our imperfection, God's promises still remain perfect. Therefore, we can have faith and confidence that God will do everything that he said he will do in spite of what he's asked for, in spite of what is going on. So when they got to the place that God had chosen, when they got to the place, God has chosen. Don't miss what I just said. You're going to skim right over this. When they got to the place where God has chosen, when you get to where God has chosen you to be, that's a faith walk. Abraham turned to the young men and he made the most bold declaration of faith than you'll ever see in Scripture. He told those young men, you guys stay here. Me and the boy, me and Isaac, me and the promise are going to go up this mountain. Now God's asked him to sacrifice his son. He said, we're going to go up this mountain. And he said, we will come back. That's confidence, man. That's confidence. See, in spite of what God asked him to do, he leans instead on what God has promised he will do. So what he's saying, in spite of the circumstances that you're going through, you lean on God's promise, not the circumstances. You just trust God with the promise. It's going to work out, right? So here's the deal. Now, on the way up, when they're going up the mountain, Isaac asked Abraham some hard questions. Anybody ever had any hard questions that you don't know the answers to? Abraham has to do some hard things. Hard. Anybody ever have to do some hard things that you don't want to do? See, the person I wrestle with the most is me. Because it's hard not to be selfish. It really is. Let's admit that. Here, giant confessional. It's hard not to be selfish. It's hard. But even though we have hard questions, even though God is asking us to do hard things, did you know that God's not done yet? Did you know that God is not done yet? Turn to somebody and tell them, God's not done yet. Come on, Heidi, God's not done yet. Say, well, man, you know what's going on? God knows exactly what's going on. So get up to the top of that mountain. And on the way up, Isaac is asking Abraham, hey, I see the fire and I see the wood, but we don't have a lamb to sacrifice. What are we going to do? And Abraham says, God's going to provide the lamb. Don't worry about it. God's going to take care of things. When they get to the top of the mountain, he ties his young son up. He lays him on the altar. He raises up the knife, and God says, don't do it. And he looks over, and in verse 13, there's a ram caught in the bushes. He pulls out the ram, offers the ram instead of his son. God shows up, and the promise is preserved. Now listen, here's what we don't understand. Did Abraham already know that ram was going to be up there? Did God give him insight and go, you know what I'm thinking? No. Because here's what it says in Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 19. Abraham had already concluded that God was going to have to raise Isaac from the dead. He had no idea. So he had the promise all right, but the process all wrong. Anybody ever get the promise all right, but you got the process all wrong? Anybody ever had God do things his way instead of your way? Oh, come on now. And God provided the lamb. See, here's what we don't understand about how God's work. Abraham and Isaac are going up one side, and God is sending the ram up the other side. Listen, friends, listen. You might think you're climbing an impossible mountain, asked to do stuff that you don't want to do. You're facing stuff that you think is anti-faith, and God's not going to show up. You're afraid, you don't know what to do. But what you don't know, what you cannot see, because it's on the other side of the mountain, God is sending your answer up on the other side. So what am I saying? Don't stop climbing a mountain. Get to the place where God wants you to be, and the promise will meet you on the top. You guys understand what I'm saying? Your answer is on the way. That's why I can't see it. That's why it's faith. Had Abraham have hurried up the mountain, there'd have been no lamb. If there'd have been no lamb, there'd have been no promise. Had he just chosen any mountain, it doesn't matter. There'd have been no lamb. There'd have been no sacrifice. Where there is no sacrifice, there is no promise. Are you listening to me? Hey, Pastor Dave, it's hard. Yes, it is. But see, what you become in the process makes you what you're supposed to be when you stand there. Because Jesus is the King of the hill. He is the King of the hill. Fast forward 2,000 years. There's another man walking up another hill. His name is Jesus. He gets to the top of the hill and he becomes the lamb that was slain from the foundation of the world. Had there been no lamb, there'd be no promise. Had there been no lamb, you and I, my friend, there would be no promise. Had Jesus not have made that sacrifice, had there been no sacrifice, there'd have been no promise. Because you are living and breathing today, because there was a lamb, you're living in a promise right now. That's what I'm saying. Your answer is on the way, my friend. Don't stop climbing because God is sending the answer up the other side. Fast forward another 2,000 years. Whatever hill that you are climbing today, take heart, my friend. Your answer is on the way. Don't get distracted. Don't stop climbing. Don't get tired of doing good, because your season is coming due. Anybody got a season coming due? I got a season coming due, my friends. Here it is. I want you to hang on to this all day long, all week long. This is it. Are you ready? No. Are you ready? Get your phone out. Get ready to write something down. You're going to need this. You can get this tattooed on your forehead. It'd be just fine. Don't worry. Don't hurry. Your season is coming due. Don't worry, don't hurry. Your season is coming due. So do you know what I'm going through? Don't worry, don't hurry. Your season is coming due. Touch somebody, tell them, my season's coming due. Come on, my season's coming due. Okay? If you're waiting on your season, don't lose heart. Keep climbing. Don't worry, don't hurry. Important words. Okay, sometimes we worry. It's not looking good. Oh no, what am I going to do? Don't worry. I got to get through this. Don't hurry. You want to get to the top of the mountain at the same time as your promise. Amen. That make sense? If you try to hurry through, you'll be climbing forever. Don't worry. Don't hurry. Your season's coming due. For the tired and the distracted, for the discouraged and the disappointed, for the angry and the hurt, don't let the process harden your heart. Let Jesus heal it instead. How many of you guys know the process can harden your heart? Let's be honest, I don't like it. Waiting on the promise to ripen can be exhausting. Don't worry, don't hurry. Your season's coming due. Don't let it harden your heart. In John chapter 4, there's a Samaritan woman, and the story has her going to the well at about noon. About an hour from now. And it's over in the Middle East, and about noon it's starting to get pretty hot. Kind of like summertime in Porterville. You guys understand what I'm talking about? But this lady, she waits till noon to go, and everybody else is going at about 6 in the morning. I know some people don't know that there is a 6 o'clock in the morning, but trust me, it comes. So all the ladies come to the well at about 6 o'clock in the morning. They gather there and they're drawing their water and they're sharing these stories and, hey, what's going on with the family and all this kind of stuff. And they're also sharing stories about those people. You guys know about those people? You know, you read about it on Facebook. And the reason she comes at noon, she's one of those people. She doesn't want to hear him talk, doesn't want to hear the stories. Because see, she's been married 5 times. And thought every time, each time, this is it. Finally going to be loved. I'm going to find out. Another relationship crash. She is so burned. She's so broken. She refuses to get married and decides, you know what, I'm just going to live with this guy until something changes. And she knows that they're talking about her. So she shows up at noon. She's accustomed to nobody being there when she gets there. And when she shows up, she's surprised to find a rabbi sitting there in the well. Not our problem because she's a Samaritan, he's a rabbi. He's not even supposed to talk to her. So she could just go up and get her water and walk away. Nobody's going to know anything. Kind of like standing in line at the grocery store. You don't expect the person in front of you to talk to you. When they turn around and say hi, you go. So she's drawing her water. The rabbi says, give me something to drink. She says, you don't have anything to draw with. See, the Samaritans and Jews are not going to drink after each other. How many of you guys drink after somebody? Anybody drink after somebody? Sicko. That's just nasty. I'm just playing. But really. I especially don't drink after my grandson. Because his soft drinks come with fiber. You know, you guys know. It is disgusting. You don't have anything to draw with. So to start talking about water, then living water. And to talk about religion. And finally, they start talking about relationships. And by the time this lady leaves, she leaves the water pot that she carries. She leaves her burden at the well. And when she walks away, her heart has been healed. She leaves the burden there. She leaves what she carried there. She leaves her problems there. She leaves the struggles there. She leaves her failures at the well. And when she walks away, her heart has finally been loved. She finally found what she's been looking for. See, my friend, here's what I'm saying. We struggle for so much, searching for so much. We've been damaged so much. Sometimes we come to the well late because we don't want anybody to know. Because the process is hard in our heart. And what she didn't know, and what you don't know, Jesus has been at the well waiting for you. He stayed there on purpose because he knew you were coming. He sat down by the well even after a long journey. So you know what? I'm waiting on my friend. I'm waiting on that girl that needs to be loved. I'm waiting on that guy that's had one too many failures. I'm waiting on that kid that's struggling with school. I'm waiting on the family that's been disintegrated. I'm going to wait right here. I'm going to hang out here at the well because the person that I want to love, the person that I want to care about, they're going to be here in just a minute. You guys go on ahead. I'm going to sit right here until they get here. And when she gets to that place, she drops her burden at the well and she walks away with a healed heart. That's what we're offering for you today. Let God do what only God can do. Jesus is waiting. And all it requires of you is that you come thirsty. Could I get you to bow your heads and close your eyes for just a moment, please? You're sitting in this house today. You've been disappointed by the process. You're broken by the stuff that has happened. Tired of the struggle. It doesn't feel like you're getting anywhere. I feel like I'm talking to you without anybody looking around. Just slip your hand up real quick and right back down. That's all I'm asking. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anybody been waiting on a promise that you feel like it's just way too long coming? Like, you know what, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. This should be way past this by now. Maybe, you know what, listen, you've got some family members that you've been praying for a long, long time. You've got some drama going on in your family you've been praying about. You say, you know what, God, I just need you to show up, and you don't see any progress at all, and you're kind of frustrated. You don't know what to expect. If that's you right now, show me your hand. Say, Pastor Dave, that's me. That's where it's at. I got some kids. I got some family members. I got some stuff going on. It's making me crazy. I got to get past this. I need some help here because, you know what, I can't carry this. This burden is just way too heavy. Come on, show me your hand real fast, real fast. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, thank you, thank you, thank you. Last question. You're sitting here today. You've gotten so distracted by the drama. It feels like it's just fighting constantly. It's always around. It's exhausting. And maybe sometimes the ones you're fighting is yourself. But if you're tired of that, just show me your hand. Say, Pastor Dave, that's where I'm at. Thank you. Could y'all stand, please? I'm fighting a significant battle right now myself. Health issues. It's like, man, you know, the honest thought is that I can't catch a break. But then I also thought, you know, why not me? Why not somebody who has faith and somebody that has no faith, right? So I went to see a specialist Friday. And so they're going to be starting me on some treatments. It's going to be a tough process. As a matter of fact, it's a heck of a long. I wish I was right here. But I got to walk through the process just like you. So I'm start climbing the steps. At the end of this process, guess what? My season's coming due, guys. My season's coming due. So, I know this ain't right, but I told you in the beginning I'm selfish. Today's talk I'm sharing with you, if you didn't get anything out of this, I'm okay with that because I did. My season's coming due. Your season coming due? Okay, now listen. What we want to do before we break up this happy gathering is we want to have the opportunity, if you've been living far away from God, if you haven't invited Jesus in, then we need to start there, okay? We need to start there. And sometimes, you know what, let's be honest, sometimes people just walk away. For a million reasons. Talked to a guy this week that exactly happened. Just got burned and things were just really hard. Said, you know what, I just couldn't take it anymore. I just walked away. So I prayed a prayer with him that I'd like to pray with you, okay? And I'd like you guys to pray this prayer with me. Like out loud. I'm going to pray this to myself. Yeah, right. I want you to pray this prayer with me. Say, God, thank you for your son Jesus. He took all of my failures and my faults, and he traded them at the cross on my behalf. So I give it all to you. All that I've done, all that's been done to me, I surrender it to you. Make my life your own. Give me a fresh start. I belong to you. In Jesus' name, amen. Congratulations, friends. That's where it starts. I want you to know that if you're carrying that heavy burden like that girl was, and you know, relationships can be like a minefield. Isn't that right? Even good ones. I know it'll be a surprise to you, but there's days when I don't wake up in a good mood. And even more of a surprise, did you know that sometimes Loretta wakes up and she's okay? That's a dodge. I'm still in trouble. But I want to encourage you to bring that burden to the well. Jesus will meet you here. And you're going to walk away with a healed heart. Okay, we're going to start there. Don't worry. Don't hurry. Your season's coming due. Come on now, that's all week. Don't worry. Don't hurry. Your season's coming due. I want you to get that. Okay, Pastor Louis, come on, buddy.